I just realized. Hold up. There we go. I'm not sharing the... Wait, what? That? Oh, okay, everything disappeared. It's because I was sharing the wrong window. I mean, I was sharing my display. But I wasn't sharing I mean, the game was sharing because it was on my display, but I was accidentally sharing the whole display. But now we're... yeah, now we're chilling. Anyways, yeah. Happy Monday! It's Monday, right? Yeah, fuck. Dude. Man, I kept thinking yesterday was Monday, so the whole day today I was like worried that it was Tuesday, and I was like, oh god, I have stuff I need to do on Tuesday and I haven't done it yet because I didn't stream yesterday, therefore it felt like a Monday because I was quite busy until late last night, and oh, it was a true fiasco. But anyways, I bet it's called Should Be a Scramble because it scrambles your stream days. This is so true, guys. My stream schedule makes me want to scream because it's so scuffed these days. Yeah. I mean, this week is also just I have family in town. And by family, I mean my parents. But yeah, stream is gonna be... I'm really busy in the next coming months, so stream is gonna be a little bonkers for a while, honestly. Like, I was thinking about it and I was like, damn. So, I mean, I'm just really busy between now and when I move, in July, and then I'm gonna move, and then stream will probably be consistent again for a couple of weeks, but then it's gonna get inconsistent again because I'm gonna be starting classes. Oh boy, what a time. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to play some Should Be a Scramble. How's it going, Sam? How you doing? It's been a few days since I laid eyes on your beautiful username. What? Okay. How you doing? I'm gonna stand as well. It do be like that sometimes. The family sounds like a fun time indeed. I'm excited to see my parents. I'm very excited to see my parents. You know, it's funny because over the course of the pandemic, I lived at home for a year, right? And, I mean, same with any person in their 20s, it can be a little weird to get along with your parents sometimes, just because, you know, I was just out of college and I was like peak ready to argue with all boomers. And my parents are already, my mom in particular is already less boomer than most boomers. But yeah, I was like, I can't wait to move out of the house last July when I moved back to New York, and now I'm just like, can't wait to see my parents. You know, distance is good. Moving, I know, right? Oh, I'm starting to get worried. It's May. Who knows, in 2 months from this exact moment, I might not even be in this apartment anymore. I probably still will be, because I'm trying to, like, target move probably the last week of July, so I don't, like, waste too much of my lease, but, you know, you never know how it's gonna go. It's going well, how are you? I'm doing okay. A little tired, but okay otherwise. I will say, oh my gosh, though, like, I don't, like, do you guys ever, like, I feel, I've been having a little bit of, like, heartburn for the last, like, hour, and I didn't even eat anything in particular. I ate, like, a second half of my banh mi, because I had a banh mi for lunch, and I felt fine after lunch, and then, like, an hour ago, I ate the second half for dinner, and, like, ever since then, I'm just like, oh, wow, this don't feel right. I'm okay, but damn, feel weird. I'm excited you're gonna be fun. Thanks. Plus cat. Indeed cat. Although I'm I'm learning that I'm horribly allergic to cats still. Even hypoallergenic cat I'm so allergic to, but it's fine, it's worth it. But so where did we leave off? We left off with Maria dying because we hit a bad end. There's someone blocking her story. Oh no, Maria had it to be continued. Okay, so there is a jump, I think, in her story. Yeah. We can jump to Ati from here, yeah. Illegal! I know, right? If only I could be illegal to be allergic to pets, I would actually be in jail. Wait a minute. Fuck. Alright, we got Keep Out by Achi. So now we broke the Keep Out. Because Achi ran into Maria thinking it was Hitomi. Hello, guys. Hello, Snow. How's it going? How are you doing on this lovely, lovely, lovely Monday? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's up, dog? Like Bugs Bunny style. Yo, dog, what's up? I don't know why, but I've recently been doing, what's the motion called? It's like, what is it? Hang 10 with your hands, right? Like the telephone, like hand motion. I've been doing that a lot lately. I'm just like, every time like I'm just like leaving somewhere, like saying bye to a friend, I'm like, yeah, take it easy, get home safe, and everyone's like, one of my coworkers saw me do it too, and she was just like, oh, that's cute, I should start doing that. And I was like, oh, wait, when did I start doing this even? Like, it made me realize, I'm like, when did I start doing this shit? But yeah, it's fun, hang loose. Horrible, no clue what game to play. Oh, no, Snow. Let's see. Are you still playing the new Horizon Zero Dawn, or Forbidden West, I think so it's called? Have you played that? Shaka. Is that the name? Wait, are you saying that's the name of the motion, or are you just saying Shaka? Like shocker. Also, is Teapot done? No, Teapot's still dead. The Spices event, though, have you guys started it? It's pretty cute. I actually kind of like it. I like it. It's pretty similar to the drink event. I like it more than the drink event, though, honestly. The drink, the pouring animation was kind of obnoxious. Oh, name of the motion. Okay. Yeah, I've been doing Shaka a lot then. Like, yo, what's up? Also not related at all, but I'm wearing a new pair of green shorts that I bought last week, and I'm so happy because I love, like, it's like a deep olive green with a little bit more yellow in it, but I just love green. I also have like a green, like, jumpsuit that I'm excited to start wearing again, because it's almost summertime, so hell yeah. Unrelated, but... I hate the drink one, it was so slow. The drink one I think was really cute in concept, and it was actually fun, but it was slow. Like, all the animations were really obnoxious. I think, like, the Spices one is kind of an improvement because it's, like, it's the same concept, but you just do the whole thing at once. Rather than, 3 separate, you know what I'm saying? Ow, what is that? I just stepped on something. Yeah, what the heck is this? Okay, interesting. I stepped on, looks like a piece of plastic that chipped off of something, but it's a piece of plastic that chipped off something, but I don't have anything of this, like, plastic material in my room, so interesting. Very interesting indeed. Anyway, not important, but haven't gotten it. I'm honestly waiting for no reason. You should think about getting it. I heard it's fun, no? I haven't tried it yet. It's pretty cute and, like, fast. So that's nice. First with a period? That's threatening. There's a drinking event. Yeah. Oh, no. The drinking event was last patch. It's over. Hey, cutie. Sat Wi-Fi. Oh. Hey, sex. Oh my gosh, guys. Get a room. Talking to Papyrus voice. Alright.
it's time to revise. Oh, yeah, the drink event was last patch, or maybe the patch before. I don't quite remember, but it's already over. I'm sorry, Snow. But on the bright side, the current Spices event is basically a better version of the drinking event. Anyways, we're going to actually finally start playing Shibuya Scramble. Achi took the escalator down the third floor. Why is it not end? I'm not tapped in. And there was Hitomi standing right in the open after he'd been searching her for her high and low. There you are. I thought you were going to meet on the second floor, Achi said. She stared back at him in confusion. Ah, well, anyway. Come on. We have to go. We have to go hide. Hide? Why? She gave him a dubious look. Achi felt like something was off, but now wasn't the time to dwell on it. Because those guys might have found us, he said. They're outside. He took hold of Hitomi's hand. Hey, let go, what gives? She quickly yanked her hand away. Huh? As Achi tried to make sense of the way she was acting, she took off down the corridor. Hey, Hitomi. He hurried after her. It was like changing her clothes had also changed her personality. Still, he couldn't just leave her alone. The kidnappers might be closing in. He stayed in pursuit of her, trying not to draw too much attention. XD. He lost track of her somewhere near the elevators. What is her deal? Unsure of what he should do, he headed back down to the rendezvous point on the second floor. When he arrived, he spotted Hitomi heading down the escalator ahead of him. Hitomi, Achi shouted, but his voice vanished into the noise of the crowd and she disappeared onto the first floor. Damn it! Achi rushed down the escalator. He took the steps 2, 3, 5 at a time. He's gonna fall and get hurt. He made it to the first floor and looked around. There was Hitomi about to take a different escalator back up. Why is she doing this? He waved his arms to get her attention, but she didn't notice and headed right back up. Now, what the heck is she thinking? Love this voice. You know, some would argue that is pretty bad, but I like it too, Snow. I can see you're a man of culture. Achi sped around and got on the upper escalator.
Alright. It's been 2 minutes. Whew. Out of my way! Come on! He shoved people aside as he ran up the moving stairs. He's winded after climbing the escalator. But he saw no sign of Hitomi when he reached the second floor. He lost track of her completely. Come on! This is ridiculous. Achi's shoulders slumped. He felt exhausted, but he kept up his search, scouring the one floor after another until eventually he made it down to the second basement level. Had she grown too impatient waiting for Kanan and gone off searching for the blue minivan again? I think I can handle myself from here. He thought back to what Hitomi had said earlier. Damn it, she's not gonna be okay by herself. Come on. He pounded his fist into the wall in frustration. Leave, stop! It was Hitomi's voice. What? Hitomi! She's right there. Did she not see him? Achi moved faster than he could think. Achi! She called back. A pair of thugs had grabbed her by both arms. Achi stomped his way towards them. Get your hands off her, he shouted. Get your hands off my girl. What's up with you, pal? The older of the two, a middle-aged fellow, turned to Achi with a sneer. He looked familiar somehow. Hitomi shook herself free of the men and ran over to Achi. It's no use trying to act tough, buddy. We're just trying to get back what we're owed. Don't make us have to get rough with you. What? You're owed? Hitomi, do you owe people money? No, I don't. They just came after me and started going on about 2 million yen. She looked just as baffled by the situation as Achi was. If you're gonna blame someone, blame your boss, the older man said. My boss? Also, give me 1 second. Let me plug my laptop in. I just realized it's probably about to die. I was using it all day. What? Okay. My bad. If you're gonna blame someone, blame your boss, the older man said. He gestured to his lackey. A feral gleam flashed in the young punk's eyes. It was the look of a man who couldn't resist dishing out a beatdown. He brought up his fists and shifted his feet, shadowboxing a few quick jabs with his left hand. Give him a piece of your mind, Achi. What's up? I miss you today. Yeah, I know, right? Stream on a Monday. Who would have thunk? But it's just because my schedule has been going absolutely bonkers the last few weeks, and it's gonna keep going bonkers. So streams are gonna start happening on just random ass days. XD. But how's it going, Ian? How you doing? Hold on, Hitomi said. What do you mean, my boss? Say what? They didn't say it like that. Say what? Yanagishita, who the hell do you think? The young punk shuffled closer, fists still menacing. Then his expression changed. Hey. Hold on. Are you Achi Endo? That's right. We ain't that lucky, getting to throw down with you like this. The punk sounded pleased indeed. I've heard all sorts of rumors about you, you know? Let's see how true they are. Achi didn't like his chances in a straight-up fight with a trained boxer. How do you know it's a trained boxer? Anyone can shuffle their feet and, like, quick jab with their hands. What should he do? He better run for it. He had to apologize. He had to go for the broke. I don't trust this bitch. I'm a fist fight this mofo. I'm doing good, just grinding Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm sending children to the Shadow Realm. Shadow Realm. Hell yeah. That's what I love to hear. Bro, don't mess with boxers. Yeah, I prefer to mess with briefs. I'm so funny! But, yeah, no, I ain't scared of this punk bitch. He had to go for the broke. His best chance was to hope for an opening to deliver a low kick. He'd need to time it perfectly when his opponent took a step forward. Go back! With a loud breath, the thug shot out his left arm. Ow! Achi shifted his stance and unleashed a low kick. Suddenly, the elevator doors opened right nearby. Achi and the punk both stopped mid-attack. A miserable-looking older man stood in the elevator. At the sight of him, the punk's face went red with rage. You! Toyama! Toyama's so funny. Going up. The man in the elevator hurriedly closed the doors. The two thugs rushed toward him, but the elevator had already begun heading back upward. Come on, after him, the older man shouted. These two are really not very smart. They both, like, they always consistently get distracted because, like, they're chasing two targets, and then one of the other targets shows themselves, and so they chase the other one. I don't trust this dude. I'm gonna fight him. Yeah, smack. See? It worked out. The young punk raced up the stairs. You stay right where you are, the older fellow added, glaring at Hitomi. Then he followed after his lackey. Yeah, sure, bud. Does he really think we're dumb enough to just wait here? Achi scoffed. Achi, I've been looking all over for you. Hitomi gave him an angry swat on the chest. Wabap. For me? What are you talking about? You weren't waiting here when you said you'd be. Yeah, because you went up to another floor. What? What do you mean? I went right where you said. I went right where you said, on the second floor. Huh? This wasn't quite adding up. What are you talking about? The second floor? You went up to the third floor. No, I didn't. Wait, what? None of this makes any sense. Achi felt like his brain was getting scrambled. Shibuya scramble. Ha 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 ha. Sam already made that joke earlier. Well, anyways, at least I found you safe and sound. Kinda safe and sound. Yeah. The two smiled at one another. Aww. What's with those clothes? Tobi's new outfit was completely different from the clothes she had on earlier. I tried on a few things, but wound up deciding this. You tried other stuff on? Oh Okay, that explains it, Achi said. At least now things sort of made sense. What? That's nice, you know. What is? Your clothes, I mean, they look good on you. But how does her trying on many things, like other things, like... What? I'm confused what the problem in the first place was. Like, you guys noticing? Shibuya scrambled eggs. Tamagoyaki. I could use... I love tamago. I want tamago now. Thank you. Well, I'm actually blushing now. Kinda made me blush to say it. Bruh. He not very smooth. Achi and Hinui shyly avoid each other's eyes. Bruh. So heavy, Achi said, eager to change the subject. Do you still have that magazine? Yeah, right. I was going to just throw it away, but I couldn't. How come? I haven't been able to find the right kind of receptacle. Newspapers and magazines are supposed to be kept separate from normal trash, right? We scan their surroundings for a suitable bin. Are you serious? Yeah, you're thinking about proper recycling now of all times? Come on, Achi. Come on, you should like her. You should like her for that. Is that weird? I'm in trouble. I think you might just be perfect. Achi found himself blushing even harder now. Tama! A sudden yell snapped him out of his embarrassment. Bruh, this guy. Now kick! The sketchy-looking fellow who'd given her the magazine was scampering down the stairs towards them. Great, Achi said, the weirdo's back. The man ignored him, though, and leaned in close to Hitomi. Okay, too close there, buddy. Ah, you do still have it. He ripped the magazine from Hitomi's hands. Yes, this one hasn't been scratched off yet. The man hunkered down on the floor and began scratching away at a scratch card stapled into the center hole. Wait, don't let him have that! Another man came swooping out of nowhere. These people just all have too perfect timing, eh? Another man came swooping out of nowhere and yanked the magazine away. You can't do that, that's mine! Let go! No way! I said let go! And I said no way! The two were fighting right in front of the exit, keeping Achi and Hitomi from leaving. How convenient. How'd you like this? The older man shouted, scratching away haphazardly at the ticket. Now it's just a worthless scrap of paper. Ah, my 100,000 yen! You mean my 100,000 yen? Ha 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 ha! Then the middle-aged fellow looked back down at the ticket. Gah, what are the odds? Somehow in his random scratching he'd happened to land himself a winner. Give it! No way! The two men took off, engaged in a running battle for the ticket. What's the deal with those two? I'm not sure. And I don't want to know. Achi and Hitomi could only stand there dumbfounded. On the other hand, hey, look at the time! It's almost time. The two headed hurriedly for the Gigo back entrance. But just as they were nearing the doors, the shutters dropped down in front of them. Whoa, what gives? Wow, 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 wow. Due to maintenance, all entrances other than the main entrance on the first floor have been closed. We apologize. We apologize for the inconvenience. Customers wishing to leave, please use the main entrance on the first floor. Achi glared at the loudspeaker. It looked like there was no exit through the back after all. I really got a bad preposition about this. You mean premonition. Preposition. Hitomi had gotten quicker to butt in with her corrections. Holding on to their premonitions, then, the two hurried their way up the stairwell. As Hitomi tried to head out the first floor entryway, Achi yanked her back. Careful. What's the matter? What's the matter? Trying to go somewhere? Want to go somewhere? It's that guy. Huh? Tommy's expression stiffened. Slipping behind a nearby pillar, Achi pointed to the man with the cane who was keenly eyeing shoppers as they came and went. Well, this bites. I just heard like a pop sound, like almost like a plastic bucket dropping, and I don't know if that was audio from the game or maybe something in my bathroom fell off a shelf. Either way, not my problem. I mean, yes, my problem, but not a big deal. No way we're getting out with him there. Achi. Hitomi whispered in his ear, behind us. Oh, these two really can't catch a break, eh? Achi glanced back and saw the two goons walking in their direction, but not the good kind of goon, not the homie kind of goon. Uh-oh. If those two caused a scene like before, the assassin would notice them for sure. Aha! The younger punk had spotted them. Damn it, Achi thought, grinding his teeth. But then the thuggish pair let out a teensy-weensy squeak and then darted off in a different direction, vanishing from view. Maybe they saw the guy with the cane. They're scared of him too? What the heck? Achi and Hitomi watched them go, unsure of the sudden retreat. Unsure of what to make of the sudden retreat. Well, anyway, Achi said after a moment. Now we can try and find another way out. Taking Hitomi by the hand, he headed back into the shopping area. The back entrance of the first floor, that was a no-go. Isn't that where they just were? They literally watched it close. The other emergency exits were also locked down, which meant that the main entrance upon the first floor really was the only choke point in or out. It's 'cause Maria and the other timeline whooped their ass in the basement. Oh wait, right. Right, I forgot that she gave him a piece of her mind. Right. She like the box, and then like pushed him into some boxes, and they went down. And yes. I remember now. That's funny. It was almost time for them to meet Kanan. They needed to find some way to bust out of here. The pair headed back toward the main entrance. Then they saw the man with the cane again heading in their direction. He hadn't seen them yet, but there was no way they'd avoid him if they didn't do something quick. Just... Guess for now we've gotta go up, Achi said to Hitomi. They started racing up the nearest escalator, which was descending from above. My bad, coming through. Sorry, please excuse us. They fought and shoved their way past the stream of people riding in the other direction. XZ. They could see the second floor now. Achi figured they'd be in the clear once they got there. Of course, Chucky's coming down. But then a large woman appeared at the top of the escalator, heading down. She was the one who'd been in the Chinese restaurant on the 4th floor. The one who'd supposedly packed an entire buffet into her belly. She was wide enough that Achi and Hitomi would never be able to slip past her. Hey, out of the way! Achi shouted. But the young woman ignored him. Achi tried to push past, but just bounced off her. Bruh. They were drifting inevitably back down toward the 1st floor. It was like they were riding a conveyor belt that was delivering them right into the assassin. Conveyor belt sushi! This was not good. If they didn't do something soon, they'd... Wait a sec. Something must have caught the assassin's eye as she saw him suddenly rush outside. There was no telling what had just happened, but now there was a chance to escape. Achi and Hitomi raced out the door. Outside, the man with the cane was nowhere to be seen. Looks like we're safe. For now. Achi let out a sigh. For now, someone said, keep your eyes open. Sudden words made the two turn with a start. Kanan was standing right behind them. She'd gotten this close and neither of them had noticed a thing. She moved with all the skill of an assassin. Achi felt a chill shoot through him. To be continued? Yeah. That seemed like a suitable spot for the ending for Achi's story for this hour. He had to go leave his point his he had to leave to go point his gun at Maria. Oh. Right. Damn, she kinda hot, bruh. Bonk. Okay. So we haven't played any of Minorikawa yet, by the way, this hour. Kano hit a keep out. So... Oh, okay. Let's unblock Kano then. Oh. Okay, that wasn't the keep out block, right? XD. I wasn't paying attention to timestamps, but... What? Oh, it's a memory, right? Okay, well, let's finish, Osawa's story then. Or let's keep playing his storyline. Oh, so are we on 2 to 3 or... Okay, we're on the 2 to 3 hour. Okay. He reloaded the page and saw that his earlier thread had gotten a reply. It was from Pretty Honey, a regular contributor to Osawa's threads. Zamp. I'll oppose the idea of Aya Kamiki expanding into America. She should be able to enjoy the success she's earned in Japan without having to struggle overseas. Aya has done so much for us. I'd like her to keep supporting Japan forever. The message was festooned with a sort of emoticons that a young girl might use. Pretty Honey claimed to be a 19-year-old female college student. Although the community was meant for Aya Kamiki fans of 40 and over, the settings allowed anyone to post there. The only young woman among the members, however, was Pretty Honey. How do you know? You know, just maybe a flamboyant old lady. The thread continues. By the way, have you tried the Aya Kamiki fortune teller yet? There's a link below. Fortune telling, huh? Osawa stared. Should he ask it whether Maria was safe? If it gave him a good answer, he'd believe. If it were a bad answer, he wouldn't. It might be worth a shot, just for the peace of mind it'd bring. He clicked the link, and the IF fortune teller page came up. It asked you to enter your birth date and sex, and then Aya Kamiki would offer her advice. Osawa followed the instructions, entering his date of birth, selecting male, and then clicking next. A few seconds later, his fortune was displayed. You're a very work-minded person. He'd hoped for some insight of Maria, but it was just a write-up about his personality. So it's a horoscope. You'd never be able to get by without the devoted support of those around you, but you probably didn't realize that, do you? It's a big mistake to think you can get through all of life's challenges on your own. There's nothing cool about being ignorant. Good point. If you don't get over your indifference to the world might start to harbor a grudge. Find a way to connect more deeply with the people around you and start living a better life before it's too late. Yeah, Osawa could really use that advice, because he's a world-class dickhead. Just do that and you're sure to have a wonderful future ahead. He's gonna be like, yeah, no. That's shit advice, isn't he? Famous people who got your result. Shinosuke Owarai. Right. Interview, right, okay. Osawa couldn't help but feel the advice was painfully appropriate. Good. He went back to the forum and replied to Pretty Honey. Nice to hear from you again, Pretty Honey. I definitely know how you feel about Aya Kamiki being ours, quote, quote. That is such a... I know, oof, man, it's just like... That's like, just like not what you want to hear an old man say about a pop star. It's just so funny. Still, I'm confident she's got what it takes to persevere and succeed in America. And if she does fail, well, all of us in Japan will be here to welcome back all the same. Guess this voice to America I've concocted just has me a little worked up. He's using emoticons too. Osawa clicked post and leaned back in his chair. Osawa-san! Mr. Osawa! It was Kajiwara shouting from outside the door. First the toilet, then the lunch. What is it now? There's been a development in the case. Please join us in the living room. We have important matters to discuss. Kajiwara had his detective face on. When Osawa entered the living room, I was already there looking stern and solemn. Now that you're both here, Kajiwara said, allow me to share what we know. We've identified a location that appears to be the Syndicate's hideout. You have? What about Maria? Is she there? Osawa exclaimed. We still haven't been able to ascertain whether your daughter is safe. Well, then what's these important matters you need to discuss? Osawa felt a wave of anxiety rush through him. The hideout in question is a condominium in Hiro. And it's owned by... By whom? Mr. Ozawa, please calm down. Tell me! Go on. Out with it. Kajiwara took a deep breath. The residence is owned by Mamoru Tanaka. Osawa was speechless. He couldn't process what he was hearing. Tanaka? Lies! I shrieked. Just what are you implying? Mr. Tanaka is the kidnapper? Where's your proof? With all due respect, ma'am, weren't you yourself suspicious of Tanaka? You did go so far as to stick a listening device on him. He got a good point. Flustered, I withdrew into a vacant silence. The sudden ringing of the phone startled everyone in the room. Is that Tanaka? No, it couldn't be. There was no way. The phone was wiretapped. The detective wearing the headset nodded to Kajiwara, who in turn motioned for Osawa to pick it up. Bruh. Having a stroke. Hello? He said cautiously. Ah, hello. Is this the home of Maria Osawa? The voice was not Tanaka's. Osawa didn't recognize it, but the veil of despair that hung before him thinned slightly. Is this the home of Hitomi Osawa? This time the man on the phone used Hitomi's name instead. Yes, that's right. The caller immediately hung up. Bruh. As Osawa stood there dumbstruck, Kajiwara gently took the receiver and hung up the phone. One of the detectives addressed Kajiwara. We traced the source of the call to a cell phone. Also, we pinpoint the base station used. Inform Director Kuse so we can prepare our team, just in case. Just in case? Osawa asked. What do you mean by that? Kajiwara frowned slightly. Just because this is a kidnapping case doesn't mean that every phone call comes from the kidnapper. But we'll look into it, of course, but... I see. I see! Besides, right now, confirming Mr. Tanaka's whereabouts takes priority. Don't you agree? Osawa nodded. Someone should call him, the detective added. I'll do it. I got her cell phone and dialed up Tanaka. Where was Mr. Tanaka headed? Kajiwara asked. He eyed Osawa keenly. To work. I sent him to pick up some documents. To work. I can't talk. I sent him to pick up some documents. A necessary lie. Oh, wait, but isn't that what we did send him to do? What did we ask Tanaka to do for us? I don't quite remember. I mean, we asked him to do something, right? Or no, did he just head out on his own volition to do stuff? I genuinely don't remember. I picked this option because I thought that's what we did. XD. If Tanaka was behind the kidnapping, Osawa knew he ought to tell the police about the blue minivan and the emails from Hitomi. But still, he really couldn't believe. He just couldn't believe that his assistant was really the culprit. Really was the culprit. I can't read. We have investigators en route to Tanaka's condominium, Kajiwara said. Let's wait for them to report in. On the far side of the room, I was squawking in frustration. Squawk? I think you found out that Tanaka was talking to Hitomi and he went to go find her, right? Oh, he actually went to go find her? Because I know that Hitomi was talking to Tanaka, but I don't remember if Tanaka actually went out to find her, because I think didn't he also get distracted? Oh, wait, no, but that's when the cooking thing happened, right? So I think actually he has gone to find her. Despite several attempts, she hadn't been able to get through to Tanaka. Kajiwara's phone rang and he pulled it from his pocket. Kano? What's going on? He headed into the corner as he spoke into the receiver. I suppose that'd be alright? What for, though? After a few more quiet words, Kajiwara held out the phone to Osawa. One of the investigators on the scene would like to speak with you. Frowning in confusion, Osawa took hold of the phone. Osawa speaking? Can I help you? This is Detective Kano from the Shibuya precinct. Time is critical, so I just need to cut to the chase here. There was a pause as the speaker took a deep breath before continuing. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter Hitomi? What? Osawa was so startled that his voice caught in his throat. What are you talking about? The antiviral research was top secret. How did some detective from the Shibuya precinct know about it? Okay. Should we jump? I want to jump. I want to play Kano. Fuck Osawa, he's a dick. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter Hitomi? Osawa let out a gasp. What are you talking about? I'm the one asking the questions here, Mr. Osawa. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter Hitomi? I'm not sure I understand the question. Osawa's voice trembled as he spoke. Kano was sure he'd hit the nail right on the head. I know what the syndicate is really after, Mr. Osawa. It's the virus. It's you, it's Hitomi. It's the virus. Osawa remained silent. Mr. Osawa, is everything alright? The line went dead. Technically, that's incorrect, Stanley muttered. It's not the virus they're after, it's his daughter Hitomi who's carrying the antiviral. Bruh. Now it's clear why the criminals were after Hitomi. He saw an uneasy look on Stanley's face. Something on your mind? Kano asked. Stanley responded with a question of his own. If Hitomi was carrying the antiviral, were the criminals planning on getting it from her? How? Right. Kano thought for a moment. While taking her by force at the scramble posed too high a risk. There were nearly 100 detectives there. They must have guessed there would be. That's why they devised the attaché case relay. They wanted to abduct Hitomi somewhere away from the Dragnet's notice. This was the plan that all the signs seemed to suggest. But still, he added, I wonder how they managed to lead her away from the police protection. A look of revelation crossed Stanley's face. All they'd need to do was to convince her to go of her own accord. But how? Kano asked. And then it came to him. He thought back to Hitomi's initial contact with Tariq Al-Karawan. Just before he'd taken the attaché case from her, the two had a brief conversation. It was possible that Al Karawan had given Hitomi some form of instructions then. Guess we're back to tracking down Al Karawan, huh? Kano could tell from the look in Stanley's eyes that he was on the verge of saying something. Probably some remark about how Tateno had allowed Al Karawan to run free. Right now, Kano wasn't going to argue the point. After this case was resolved, he'd discover what Tateno's real motives were. And once he did, Stanley would eat his words. In the meantime... eat his words, it makes me think of the Goku can eat my shorts. Goku was a Super Saiyan. We can't just wander around looking without any leads, he said. Detective work. Psh. I could have figured this out. Until we get more intel, let's see what we can do with the security cameras back at the precinct. Goku was a Super Saiyan! That quip lives in my head rent-free. Numerous monitors shone down on the pair as they entered the Shibuya precinct surveillance room. Each showed an array of faces of individuals somewhere in Shibuya. Kano asked one of the operators to pull up Al Karawan's data on screen. By selecting each one of the faces on the monitors, in turn, they could run comparisons to determine if anyone among them was Al Karawan. One by one, the operator made his way through the faces. Assuming their target was still in Shibuya, there was a high likelihood they'd find him. But the minutes ticked past and there was no sign of him. Kano's tone grew more and more impatient as he directed the operator's search. Just calm down, Stanley said. He set a hand on Kano's shoulder. Who has a headshot like this? The fuck? Does this dude look like an Abercrombie and Fitch model? Yeah, but like, sus. Very sus. Amogus. That's just how I do things, Kano replied. I'm energetic because I care. Yeah, Kano does need to take a little bit of a chill pill, though. He's a little too much sometimes. He pointed out another face to the operator, while you're setting yourself up for a short life. With a sigh, Stanley sank into a nearby chair. My brother was like you. The American spoke so quietly that his words were barely audible. Sussy baka. 10 minutes later, a man in black appeared on one of the monitors. The operator lined up his cursor. The comparison check confirmed that it was Al Karawan. Yes, Kano hissed, pumping his fist. Oh, not yes, like yes, that kind of... I read it with the wrong inflection. It appeared that their quarry was simply walking around downtown, calm and composed. Kano radioed in on Al Karawan's location to Kuze. All units, intercept the suspect on the double, Kuze ordered. Kano will provide guidance using the surveillance monitors. They saw Al Karawan stop in front of a cigarette vending machine. Was he waiting for someone? Sasayama reporting, I've got eyes on the Mutt perpetrator. Hook to put in someone in cuffs, Dipper to pickpocket wants, outstanding warrants, hang paper to write multiple citations. and other such traditional police jargon. Oh, today I learned. Kano's partner had evidently been nearby. I'm making the arrest, he said. There was a note of courage in Sasayama's voice. He came into view on the monitor, walking casually. At some point he ditched his anime nerd costume for a cat mascot suit. Oh my god. Oh no, Kano muttered. That getup's going to make Sasayama stick out like a sore thumb. Shoot, the mutt spotted me. I'm going in pursuit. Bruh. Sasayama slipped out of the camera's view. Whoa, what gives? Let go of me. You're Mr. Yanagishita, right? Look, I'm sorry, but I really do need you to return that costume. The voices came in over the wireless. It sounded like Sasayama was caught up in an argument with someone. Sasayama! Kano shouted as he eyed the monitor. Kano, I need some help here! Requesting emergency back. The line went dead before Sasayama could finish. Tough cop seems like he has a hard ass. It's secretly a tragic backstory involving somebody he loved, and that's why he's tough now. I don't know if I think Stanley's a good or bad guy, honestly. I'm sus. Yeah. Oh, whoa. What's good? What's good, Zola? Thank you for the resub. Thanks for the Bezos bucks. Guys, like I said, my plans on streaming on Twitch are to slowly make Jeff Bezos go bankrupt. One Twitch Prime sub at a time. Mr. Obama? Also, it's very hot. It's humid, so I'm gonna turn the AC on real quick. Reading challenge, 100% completion. Dude, oh my god, playing this game has made me realize that I'm actually fucking illiterate. Anyways, how you doing today? Is it Monday? Yeah, it's Monday. I actually have such paranoia that I just don't know what day of the week it is, like, in the last, like, few days. I've really been having a hard time knowing what day it is, but... Bored. Well, you're here now, so prepare to be entertained by how, again, fucking illiterate I am. Exit. Kano didn't have the faintest idea what was going on, but obviously his partner needed him. He rushed out of the precinct. I can't play games and I haven't started working, so I literally have nothing but my phone. Have you tried reading a book? When he arrived on the scene, he saw Sasayama still in the catsuit, caught up in a scuffle with a man he'd never seen before. There was no sign of Al-Karawan. Sasayama, what is going on? That's an excellent question, Sasayama replied. This guy just came at me out of nowhere. He sounded pretty riled up. Sir, I need you to return this costume. My boss is very insistent on that point. I have. Then read another book. Reading, yeah. Know how to do it, Eon? Because I don't, clearly. Bezos still gets 100. Shh. Shh. It's okay, one at a time. We'll take them one at a time, alright, Sam? I'm reading a magic novel right now, but I can't read for too long. Do you just have like a hard time like reading for a long period of time, or just like it's not an interesting book? Like for me personally, when I read a lot, but it's always either go hard or go home. Like I can only read for like 5 minutes, or I will read for 2 hours straight. Like, as like I'm just like, you know, I'm gonna read a little before I go to bed, and I'm like, I'll read for 30 minutes and then go to bed. But then it's literally fucking 2 a.m. Was he the owner of the suit? What's the deal with that thing, Sasayama? Kano asked. I bought it at a variety store in Sentergai. Figured it'd be a perfect disguise. I missed some of the dialogue. I didn't steal anything. Sir, I'm telling you, you need to give that back. And I'm telling you, you've got no idea what you're on about. I realize you're not Mr. Yanagishita. This isn't the issue. I just need you to return that costume. Alright, sure, I'll give it to you. Eesh, I just need a little longer. Let go of me. If you think about it, he can never go bankrupt because you're still paying for the Prime. I know. I know. Sag.
Sledge.
I need you to get out of that suit right now. Yeah, I get that, buddy, but no can do. It's like I told you before. The zipper on this thing's snagged. XD. And Kano's just like, oh my fucking god, I'm surrounded by idiots. Kano watched as the argument descended further and further into absurdity. Also, Twitch is taking a bigger cut of subs starting next month. Wait, what? Really? How much are they getting, do you know? I mean, I only get like $2 of each sub. Like, the Prime subs are what, like $5 equivalent? Streamers get like $2 of it, I think. You'll get 50% instead of 70. You never get 70% unless you have a really nice partner contract. It's usually like $2-3 per sub. IDK about affiliate. If I recall quickly, I get about $2, $2.25 or something like that per sub. But honestly, I haven't checked in a while because, again, I don't stream to be like, I want to get rich and famous. I stream just to have a good time. Hello, Small Town! What's good, my dude? Let's fucking go! It's been a while. How have you been? Are you, I'm assuming you're out of school for this semester? Because it's, well, I don't know about, if you, like, what the school year is for you, but how's it going? How's your first semester doing, like, industrial design, was it, if I recall correctly? Or something to do with... something similar to industrial design, no? Visual arts. But I feel like I remember you showing me like a model of like a car or something. So I guess, okay, maybe that was just you practicing Maya and that's why my mind drifted to industrial. But how's it going? How you been? I wish I could stream again. I used to enjoy that, but I can't stream right now because I've been on Mac for so long. I know, I tried to stream from my Mac once. Oh wow, I thought that shit was gonna blast off into outer space. I don't have my regular PC, but are you not home right now for the summer holiday? Visual arts, those are poly, industrial is like CAD. Yeah. How is Genshin going? Oh, the patch is delayed. I mean, understandably so, and it's fair since the COVID situation in Shanghai is pretty bad right now. But yeah. We are in a delay for the next patch right now. Unfortunately. I saved like a lot of wishes for Yelan. I know. And Kazuha is just so MIA, dude. XD Kazuha. I feel like at this point, honestly, because of the delay, I mean, his banner was almost a year ago now. There's been no other not champion. There's been no other character who has been that long since a rerun, right? Even Ayaka wasn't that long. Ayaka was like, her banner was what, last July? And now her banner is here forever. Like, even Klee was like September to June. Klee was like 9 months, but Kazuha's actually almost 12 months. Yep, they did him dirty, I know, right? Kazuha's such a good kit, too. Also, remember how I can't play games? It's because my mom is mad. Because I feel cautious I didn't have my regular PC last semester. Oh! Okay, I understand. I thought that your PC was just at home and you never actually even had it with you at university. I understand. I get it now, but that's rough. Play a Wild Rift XD. So that was the original reason my mom gave me. She needed it for something. Now I know it was a ploy to make me give it to her. That seems a little far-fetched for a parent to do. What does she need it for? Tell her to buy her own. Sure, she can afford it, no? This was ridiculous. He turned to go in pursuit of the suspect. Can't wait, Sasayama called out. Come on, help me out, man. Help me get this thing off. Now really isn't the time for this, Kano replied. Yo, Kano looks kind of like his hair's greasy. Like, he gotta wash it. It's all clumpy. I'm going after the suspect. Oh, I get it. You're gonna ditch me here so you can take all the credit for yourself. What? I was this close to nabbing the guy. That arrest is mine to make. And you know it. It wasn't as though Kano couldn't empathize. If Sasayama hadn't been blindsided by this random stranger, he probably would have caught all Kano on just fine. Alright then, Kano said. He reached for the zipper at the back of the catsuit. Bruh. As Sasayama had said, the metal fittings were snagged and refused to budge. Hurry up! I'm trying! There wasn't time to do this slowly and carefully. Kano yanked down on the zipper hard. Stop! The stranger shrieked in alarm. Don't be so rough like that. But if I don't, I'll never... You mustn't! If you aren't careful, you'll cause a malfunction. The suit's already malfunctioned, dumbass. What the hell is with this guy? What the hell is this guy talking about? Oh, you gift. Oh, thank you for the gift, Solbion. Not Ranch Cat isn't even here, but it's. Thank you for the gifted sub. To be fair, I could have just left it in my dorm over the winter. Yeah, but well, is it a PC or a laptop? Is it a desktop PC or a laptop? Because bringing a PC home is hard. Like, or I guess traveling with it. Kind of not the easiest thing to travel with. Also, she did actually need it, just never returned it. Lame. Laptop. Oh, okay, okay. That makes a little more sense. Because every time you say PC, I always just kind of think desktop. I wanted to gift to someone in chat. Maybe Ranch Cat is here. But I think gifting does just give it to a random follower on the channel. But maybe Ranch Cat is here and they're just AFK? I don't know though. Egon, you can always gift another one until it gives it to someone in chat. Just kidding, don't do that. It might take a long time. He paused in surprise as Sasayama mewed. This happened earlier, too. Even when Tama was wearing the suit. Again, Sasayama let out a little cry, except it didn't sound like Sasayama's voice at all. Guys? Sasayama said, there's something making a rumbling noise inside this thing. He sounded pretty alarmed. There's a real cat in there. Uh-oh, said the other man. It has started. His face went pale. What are you talking about? Sasaya demanded. What started? You think I won't? Please don't. Okay, Sampleton's in the chat. Sampleton got it. Now stop. Save your money. Your retirement fund. The man hesitated, then seemed to come to a decision. Well, you see, this is no ordinary cat costume. Meaning what, exactly? Our shop rented this unit out by mistake. Oh, I had no idea it was anything so horrifying. Not until the boss filled me in a little while ago. What's horrifying? You're not answering the question. The man's gaze grew hollow and distant. Cats, he said, the 2019 musical. I just want to point out that, like, life has not been fine since Cats 2019 came out. Just saying. Figured it out. There's gift to a specific viewer as a setting. I see. Random Octo? Emote only chat? Alright. Oh, Eon, thank you for enabling it. How's it going, Random Octo? Using the emotes you have, tell me how you've been. It's been a while. A lot of people showing up today that haven't been around in a while. A lot of faces coming back, and it's lovely. That is a lot of guns. Okay, is that what the mood is? Nice. For a moment, there was only silence. Then Sasayama spoke up nervously. Well, yeah, it's a cat. I know that already. No, you're not listening. This is a cat. I already know it's a cat. Anyone can see that from just looking at it. Not a cat. Cats. Cat costume as transmission system. That's horrifying. It's a fucking animatronic. Developed by the Far East Costume Rentals high-tech department, there was an official corporate notice saying this is just a prototype and potentially dangerous. Do not lend it out under any circumstances. But it was accidentally rented by mistake. This is horrifying. Let me know when you want emote off only. Emote only off? Yeah. I usually, we'll leave it on for like 2 minutes. This is so much meowing. Holy, it's a cacophony. The meowing started back up again. With each new meow, the sound got faster. Soon it sounded like a cat was more and more like some mechanism that was worrying about. There was a sudden, fierce, blinding flash. A moment later, Kano and the others had vanished. What? Were they sucked into an alternate dimension? What? How the fuck did what the fuck is this bad end? Oh my god, Kano, Sasayama, and the rental guy were sent into another dimension due to a malfunction in the cat. Detective Sasayama should probably never put that cat suit on. He mentioned buying it at a variety shop on Center Guy. That's your lead. Oh my gosh, so we need to... That's actually a horrifying bad end too, by the way. Okay. Let's see, it's probably Minorikawa who probably has a unblock for Kano there. But let's finish Osawa, because we jumped to Kano mid-Osawa story. Also, we can turn emote only off. Eon, you got it? Wait. Osawa was so startled that his voice caught in his throat. And what are you talking about? The antiviral research was top secret. Top secret. How did some detective from the Shibuya precinct know about it? Thanks, Eon. T.Y. Boo Boo. Free! Kevin's like, I'm free! I'm free! Osawa was bewildered. This game looks confusing. Yeah, I will say this game is a little hard to follow if you haven't watched since the beginning, or at least kind of read what this game is about. But just TLDR is like, we're playing this game called Shibuya Scramble. It's a text mystery adventure, and where we are right now is so... Well, like, the story started with a girl getting kidnapped and basically, right, the people that kidnapped her were asking for a ransom, and so now we're following the stories of 5 different people who are kind of living this plot line. So one, we're following one character who helps the girl who got kidnapped's twin sister. This dude is her dad. This guy, Osawa Kano, is the detective on the case, or a detective on the case. There's another dude, Minorikawa, who's a reporter, and there's another person in a cat suit who we now know was the girl that got kidnapped, that the kidnappers ditched. Very confusing.
Dobby is a free elf.
Also, I've collected a lot of pommy seeds. I made a lot of chocolate pudding. I'm making my class jelly. Pomegranate for life. I love pomegranate. Do you eat the seeds to pomegranate or no? Actually, general poll for everyone. When you guys eat pomegranate, do you eat the seeds or nah? Osawa was bewildered. I'm the one asking questions here, Mr. Osawa. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter, Hitomi? I'm not sure I understand the question. I know what the Syndicate is really after, Mr. Osawa. Osawa's mind went blank when he heard what Kano said next. He could give no reply. Mr. Osawa? The detective continued after a moment. Is everything alright? Without really thinking, Osawa hung up. All you can eat are the seeds, bro. Aren't they like only seeds? Normally no. Do you eat the rind? I prefer juice mode. I don't eat the rind. I do eat the seeds. I collect the seeds. I'm planning to plant them and make a mini farm of pomegranate seeds. Are pomegranates hard to grow? I feel like they're a pretty robust fruit. Like they can take a lot of, like beating. Not to say you should like pick a pomegranate and yeet it at a wall, but like I feel like they're the fruit that they grow on trees. They grow on trees, right? I feel like they're a fruit that can fall from a tree and be fine. Like oranges. But like an apple, if that falls from a tree and it gets a nest, it's gonna get a big bruise. Well, I guess pomegranate would bruise too, and the fruit that's on this side, on the inside that it fell on my can pomegranates bruise on the inside? Damn. I like farming stuff. It's a family thing. I feel. I mean, I'm terrible at like farming and gardening, but my mom grew up on a farm, so every time we go back to the house she grew up in, because they had a big piece of land that they literally grew all the food they ate, and she'll point out all like, that's a papaya tree, that's a guava tree, and I'm like, not remembering it, but just happy my mom's happy. What do we, oh, excuse me, sorry. I'm getting a little tired. They were after the virus? Did he mean the UA virus kept at the lab? Wait, hold on. The detective had to be wrong about that. The kidnappers must have the UA virus already. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had to do what I did to Hitomi. Do not look away. These are your crimes. At last, Osawa understood what those emails from A were about. They were a preview of the tragedy that was yet to unfold. The kidnappers probably meant to start the main event soon. It might already be too late to stop them. Penguin, oh my lordy lord, we have something in common. This is our bond. This is our brotherhood. We will swear upon it. And let's get some matching tattoos. Mr. Osawa, Kajiwara asked, are you alright? The detective gazed with concern into Osawa's ashen face. Bracing himself, Osawa spoke up, his voice hoarse and dry. The killer virus is about to be unleashed in Tokyo. And I know who's responsible. It's me. The sudden confession caused the detectives on site to stir like a hornet nest. Please arrest me. Feeling the weight of his crimes crushing down on him, Osawa dropped his gaze to the floor. Gaze to the floor. He held out both his wrists. I'll tell you everything down at the station, he said. Anything you need to know. Wah. Uniqlo! What? What just happened? Oh, okay, it's his imagination. Whew. Osawa imagined bodies dropping left and right. There were limits to what might be cured by the small stockpile of antiviral in his lab. Antiviral his lab currently contained. If they were unable to quarantine the infected in time, then Shibuya, no, all of Japan might be engulfed in a pandemic that the drug could never stop. Bruh. He could only hope that his complying with the authorities might help stop the spread of the infection before it was too late. What? The thought of the UA virus devastating Japan filled Osawa's despair, blaming him so he asked to be arrested. This only happened because of what Kano said to him. A simple error in the word choice led to Osawa to a completely wrong conclusion. Kano ought to properly inform Osawa just what the kidnappers were after. Okay, well, I know how to fix this then. They were like, they got all the actors. They were like, yo, get all the actors, everybody lie on the floor, y'all dead. Dead. This will probably also stop. This might stop Kano's bad ending. Who knows? Oops. It's Hitomi thereafter. It's Hitomi. Osawa remained silent. Yeet. Okay, now let's make this jump. We fixed it, I believe, so. What? Osawa was so startled that his voice caught in his throat. What are you talking about? The antiviral research was top secret. How did some detective from the Shibuya precinct know about it? I'm the one asking questions here, Mrs. Osawa. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter Hitomi? I'm not sure I understand the question. I know what this syndicate is really after, Mr. Osawa. Okay, so we should be able to skip all this, because we have actually read this before. I'm kind of getting Danganronpa vibes. Have you played Danganronpa before, Random Octo? Why'd I say it like that? Acto? Osawa staggered out of the living room. He needed to be alone. To his surprise, Kajiwara didn't try to stop him. But the reason I asked Random Octo is because Life Virus also wants me to play Danganronpa. I'm playing Shibuya Scramble because Life Virus suggested this game. It's one of his favorites, so that's how we got here. Shutting his study door behind him, he dropped out onto his sofa, then grabbed 3 times his normal dosage of stomach pills. There was no water in the room, so he had to swallow them dry. Detective Kano's words echoed in his mind. I know what the syndicate is really after, Mr. Osawa. It's Hitomi. He broke out in a cold sweat as he began to understand what this kidnapping was really about. It had all started 6 days earlier. It was April 22nd. Osawa had just returned from the United States the day before. He was in the midst of some routine work at the General Research Lab when his cell phone rang. I'ma go be gay and fat, play Danganronpa, and I'ma go eat loads of pudding. Fuck yeah! That sounds like peak existence. I want pudding. The LCD display showed an unlisted caller. With some hesitation, Osawa picked up. Hello? Is this Kenji Osawa? The caller was using a voice modulator. Osawa raised an eyebrow. Yes? Go ahead and analyze Hitomi's blood. Her blood? If you don't, she's going to die. With that, the caller hung up. There was an intensity behind this that made Osawa sure that this wasn't just some prank call. He had Hitomi come into the lab ASAP. He told Hitomi he wanted a sample of her blood for an experiment. She agreed, suspecting nothing. He placed some of the blood he'd drawn onto a glass slide, then added some fluorescent? A type of fluorescent dye. Placing the slide under the fluorescence microscope, he took a look. It can't be. Osawa could hardly believe his eyes. Wriggling under the microscope was the Grim Reaper's sickle itself. There was no mistaking it. Hitomi was infected with the UA virus. Oh, does that mean that Achi has it too now? Trembling Osawa... Ooh. Trembling Osawa hurried to his computer. Okay. He opened the UA virus folder on his monitor. Within were images showing the stages of the virus's propagation. He double-clicked to magnify the first image. The Reaper's sickles were interlocked with one another. He clicked onto the next image. After further propagation, the UA virus looked less like a sickle, more like an insectoid larva. Ew. Next was the final image. Interlocked into a single mass, the UA's virus vaguely resembled a sinister, many-petaled sunflower. How does that look like a flower? It took a mere 12 hours for the pathogen to develop this point and to begin its hideous destruction of the human body. Hitomi's infection sample was still in the state shown in the first image. There was still a chance to save her. Osawa slumped back into his chair, huddling on himself. He had no choice. There was only one way to save Hitomi. He would have to administer the nearly completed antiviral. Using the antiviral without the official approval of the official approval was a grievous violation of the company policy. Still, Osawa didn't have time to get higher ups to approve the clinical trial. He might be punished severely for it, but this was his only option. His daughter's life was at stake. There was also another, even bigger hurdle in his way. The antiviral drug was stored in the deepest recesses of the biochemical research building. A high-intensity X-ray scanner was set up at the entrance to the storage area. This made it impossible for him to take research materials out. Well, if he couldn't get the antiviral out of there, he would just have to bring Hitomi in. Of course, the first action, a course of action quickly took shape in his mind. First, he'd need to slip out of the general research building. He would then head to the biochemical research facility and show his ID card to the guard at the front of the gate. After passing through a lobby under the watchful gaze of several security cameras, he reached an elevator at the end of the hall that went directly to the storage section. This elevator required an ID card to scan to operate. It would take about 20 seconds to get down to the first basement level and arrive at the entrance to the storage area. Finding an excuse to get Hitomi that far would be doable. The security guard got suspicious. Osawa could say it was for a top-secret hematology experiment, and the guard would probably believe him. And the problem was what came after. the surgery itself required a fingerprint authentication for both Osawa and Tanaka. This meant that he couldn't possibly get to the antiviral without Tanaka's cooperation. Desperate with uncertainty, Osawa called up Tanaka. He frantically explained the situation. Understood, Tanaka replied. We need to get her this drug as soon as possible. If the company finds out about this, you'll be held accountable for violation of corporate policy along with me. Are you sure you're okay with that? What are you talking about? Hitomi's life is more important than company policy. Tanaka spoke without hesitation. Osawa felt an immense surge of gratitude for his assistant. And I have to say I'm deeply moved by your determination, Tanaka added. Moved? Whatever for? You really are worried, Hitomi. Osawa's gratitude faded. What are you talking about? Of course I am. My apologies. It's just putting your career on the line for something so personal is... It's what? It's not like me? No, well, yes. I'm sorry. Now Tanaka's voice was colored with embarrassment. Just what sort of person do you think I am? Osawa resisted the urge to ask the question out loud. A short time later, Osawa and Tanaka stood before the door to the secure storage area. The security guard had let them in without the slightest suspicion. Osawa pressed his index finger to the fingerprint scanner first. Accepted. He realized he'd been holding his breath as his authorization finally went through. Half a moment later, Tanaka touched his own thumb finger to the scanner plate. Accepted. Achi was right all along. Tanaka and Hitomi are shagging. Stop! The lock released with an audible clang, and the heavy door opened. Osawa hurried to retrieve the antiviral as he picked up the small vial he had in a sudden realization. They were finally going to use the drug in a human test. His fatherly wish to cure Hitomi was overlaid by an intense rush of curiosity, the researchers' drive to discover his results. Hurry. I need to hurry. I need to administer the antiviral as soon as possible. Osawa could hardly fend off his excitement. Over the course of the next few hours following the injection, the UA virus would be eradicated from Hitomi's body. There had been some fever and cramping as temporary side effects, but the DDS had done a spectacular job of stomping up the virus. In saving his daughter's life, Osawa had proven the value of his research. If he had been asked which made him happier, he would have been hard-pressed to give an answer. Afterwards, he asked Hitomi where she could have become infected, but she had no idea. He explained the need for secrecy and strictly forbade her telling anyone what had happened. Now a week had passed since Osawa had gave the drug to Hitomi. He had been conducting checks and had discovered that the DDS had not broken down but remained in Hitomi's bloodstream. Extracting the DDS was a simple matter, requiring just a small sample but around the nape of the neck, okay? The DDS itself was simply the delivery system for the antiviral drug. Residual amounts of this antiviral itself stayed behind within the cells. Using the DDS, it was possible to extract those minuscule amounts from cells in a blood sample. It might take considerable time, but a sufficiently detailed analysis could allow for the antiviral drug to be reconstructed. Osawa felt a chill as he contemplated the situation. The kidnappers had known how tough security was at the lab, so they'd come up with the idea of using a human vessel to get what they needed from within. By infecting Hitomi with the UA virus, they'd ensured that she'd receive the antiviral, that she'd have it in her blood. If Tanaka was working with the kidnappers, that explained why he'd been so cooperative about the fingerprint scanner. Damn it! Osawa shouted. He clutched his head in his hands. Tanaka had been his partner and trusted confidant for years. Osawa refused to believe that he'd been betrayed like this. The front door chime sounded. Mr. Osawa, Kajiwara called out, it appears you have a visitor. Could you handle that? Ah, but we can't jump yet because we haven't played Minori Kawa yet. Who could it possibly be? Now of all times. You deal with it. Osawa was in no state of mind to receive a guest. Alright. With a sigh. Let's go talk to Minori Kawa. Alright. With a sigh, Osawa dragged himself to his feet. We might hit a keep out here. Played like a fiddle. A fiddle! He stumbled warily back into the living room where the investigators were staring at the intercom monitor with concern. The intercom's hidden camera showed a man with an unsettling grin posed intimidatingly outside the front gate. Bruh. Osawa didn't recognize him. Yes, who is it? He asked guardedly through the intercom. It's Minori Kawa. Where might I know you from, Mr. Minori Kawa? Oh, you know, here and there. I mean, there's only one Minori Kawa, really. Are you playing games with me? I don't have time for that. Please, just open up. There's no way I'm letting you in, Osawa said. But the nonsensical badgering continued. Look, just hold your horses. I'm here for an interview. You got that? An interview? That's right. It's a piece for 4-star General Gossip. The name of the magazine brought up an unpleasant memory. That was the gossip rag that had run the article about his political marriage. Wait, this is for one of those kinds of articles? What do you mean, those kinds of articles? I was looking for an interview. The man's tone was both high-handed and belligerent. Like hell you are. I'm not talking to anyone from the gossip. You're not the one I'm here to talk to. I want to interview your twin daughters. My daughters? I understand that they won a share prize for a beauty contest at Midoriyama Academy. If you wouldn't mind my interviewing them, Furious, Osawa cut off the intercom. This was no time to be indulging someone else's nonsense. What gives? The man was shouting so loud his voice carried past the gate and through the front door. I'm begging out here, on my hands and knees. Bruh. He wasn't actually on his hands and knees. Osawa could see that clearly through the intercom monitor. If your daughters aren't home, can you at least tell them I want to get in touch with them? No time for games. There's always time for games, punk. Mr. Osawa, Kajiwara said, frowning. This isn't a good time to have someone drawing attention to your home. Alright. I'll get rid of him. Osawa hurried out the gate, confronting Minori Kawa through the front gate. The journalist had that tenacious look that immediately marked him as a member of the media. Give me your business card, Osawa said. I'll have them get in touch with you later. He took Minori Kawa's card, then went right back inside. Back in his study, Osawa tossed Minori Kawa's business card into the trash. Unable to think of what else to do, he tried the internet fortune teller again. He got the same "you're a very work-minded person" result a second time. If you don't get over your indifference to the world might start to harbor a grudge. My indifference to the world around me, huh? The truth was that even with his closest companions, even with Tanaka for instance, his relationship had always been strictly a matter of business. He'd never really taken it upon himself to get to know Tanaka as a person. What a funny thing to say. And that was pretty much the case for everyone he knew. He harbored no interest in other people, he had no concern for his fellow man. That had made itself abundantly clear when he received a microscope as a birthday present back in first grade. Even now, he still remembered the shock he'd felt when he looked through that lens for the first time. He discovered a new, almost infinite world hidden in the midst of the one he'd always thought was too small. By comparison, the real world seemed to be bland and ugly. Wherever he looked, wherever he went, he had to contend with tedium. It hadn't taken long for him to become more charmed by the world under his microscope than the one around him. It was like a calm, quiet little seaside. A beach where he could just sit and stare out at the waves. He wanted to stay immersed in that world forever and ever. Before he knew it, he was an adult. And then a husband, and then a father. The people around him thought him an odd fellow, but he hadn't let that change the way he lived his life. And this now was the result. He hadn't been betrayed by Tanaka. He didn't know Tanaka well enough for that. Find a way to connect more deeply with the people around you and start living a better life before it's too late. Just do that, and you're sure to have a wonderful future ahead. Osawa picked up his cell phone and dialed Tanaka's number. I had tried calling him repeatedly and hadn't gotten through. It was doubtful that he'd pick up. It was, still, Osawa had to try. The phone rang several times. He listened grimly to the empty, mechanical sound, preparing himself for disappointment. What is it? Tanaka's voice sounded coldly in Osawa's ear. The tension was electric. Ooh, that's a spicy keep out. Alright, time to probably start Minorikawa's chapter. We haven't played any of him for this hour yet, so... yeah, so just to recap real quick, Kano has hit a jump spot. I don't particularly think Kano is unblocked yet, because I think we're still gonna hit a point where he picks up the cat suit. I think. So we're going to just start Minorikawa for now. Is Tanaka bad? What do you think? I think no, because well, here's the thing. Tanaka is too obviously the bad guy, so I don't know if I actually think he's the bad guy or not. I'm gonna say, for now, I don't think he's the bad guy. I think there's... well, actually... because I have a similar logic for Tateno, right? I'm like, oh, well, Tateno's not actually the bad guy. I think he's being blackmailed or something. But I feel like there can't be two characters like that. So either Tateno's a bad guy and Tanaka's not a bad guy, or Tateno is a good guy and Tanaka's a bad guy. So... I'm kind of leaning towards, though, that Tateno is not a bad guy. Right now, at least. But we'll see. No! Minorikawa's cry of despair echoed throughout the cafe. Or sorry, not... I think I just said Tateno. Tateno I still don't really know, but I'm right now leaning towards Tanaka is not a bad guy. His laptop monitor stared back at him, black and empty. Don't you die on me, buddy. He jabbed his finger, sharply at the screen. Oh, I felt feeling like a hiccup come up. But the computer gave no response, looking well and truly dead. What the hell? Minorikawa pounded his fist on the table. This would be a worst-case scenario, even if he weren't desperately pressed for time. Guess I'll have to write by hand then. He rummaged around inside his bag and pulled out a notebook. I can still do this, he shouted, doing his best to psych himself up for the task ahead. I will still do this! Ha! Excuse me. Sir? The waitress appeared timidly behind him. What? Minorikawa snapped. The pen still flying across the paper. Sir, if you could please quiet down. My damn computer just broke. I'm allowed to scream or two. Minorikawa was no state of mind to be quiet. Fighto! Fighto! If it weren't for the deadline he was racing to meet, he'd probably have gone on screaming until he'd passed out. Your computer is broken, you say? The waitress peered at the monitor. Yeah, look. Is she gonna be a tech whiz? It just suddenly stopped displaying anything. Could it be that the battery's just dead? Minorikawa sat bolt upright. That's it! Dude, this guy, I hate this dude. The waitress flinched as Minorikawa's finger jabbed toward her face. I hadn't considered that possibility. Let me plug it in somewhere. There's an outlet right there, sir. She pointed at the outlet by Minorikawa's feet, making no attempt to hide her exasperation. Minorikawa plugged in the power cable and the monitor sprang to life as normal. So, now that that's sorted, would you please be quiet, sir? Don't talk to me, you're interfering with my writing. Oh my god, what a dick. Minorikawa's fingers had already begun dancing across his keyboard. With a sigh, the waitress disappeared back into the kitchen. I love Mino, he's such a straight arrow. Yeah, he's such a New Yorker, which is weird for Japanese people. Hell yeah, now we're talking. His fingers picked up the speed as he went about touch typing. The pros and cons of surveillance cameras. Proprietor of outdated electronics shop oversees high-tech camera system. Bedlam at bogus weight loss drink sales demo. Bankrupted organizer remains undiscouraged. Now Minorikawa's spirits were riding high. His writing rolled along at a brisk pace. Sir? It was the waitress again, her voice yanking Minorikawa right out of his soaring mood. Sir, now what? Now what? Has the President of the United States agreed to give me a one-on-one interview? The waitress's eyes went wide with confusion. Huh? Because unless it's something important, do not speak to me right now. But she was undeterred. Sir, if you could just please be a little quieter. Minorikawa's fingers ceased their rattling across the keys. Just what sound do you have a problem with? All I've been doing is writing a copy. Well, last while you've actually been talking while you write, sir. Talking? Minorikawa tilted his head in confusion. Yes, sir, you've been talking about an electronics store and some bogus weight loss drink. I assume that's what you're writing about? You're saying I've been narrating my copy aloud while I write it? That's right, sir. Other customers sitting nearby were openly snickering. Well, so what? He snapped. He was red in the face now. You should all be delighted that you get to hear what I'm writing before the magazine goes to print. Well, actually, sir, one of our customers has been complaining. Complaining? Of all the nerve, who was it? Where are they? Minorikawa scanned the other patrons, many of whom were unsuccessfully trying to hide their laughter. It was me. It was the grumpy older fellow who'd been making a scene earlier. Bogus diet fads, peeping security cameras, reminds me of that sleazy tabloid four-star general gossip I hate so much. Oh, you sure know a lot about it for something you hate so much. The man's face twisted up with scorn. Your behavior is bothering everyone in here, he said. Do you not understand that? No, I don't. Guess a reporter who writes nothing but nonsense prefers nonsense in everything he does. Ooh. Minori-kawa could feel his blood boiling. What's that? Go on, say that again? Oh, gladly. Nonsense, filth, codswallop, blim blam. You bastard! How dare you! Minori-kawa stormed over at the man's table. To the man's table. Flim flam indeed. Bruh. Just who are you calling flim flam? The other man stood up and glowered in Minori-kawa's face. You utterly lack any manners or sense of decency for starters. I have plenty of manners and decency. I also happen to have a deadline. Brah! As if a flim flam artist like you has a work ethic. Stop calling me flim flam! Flim flam, my innocent ears. Don't listen to him, Timmy. The waitress inserted herself between the two men. Gentlemen, please, stop waiting! I demand that you remove this man at once, the older fellow barked. He's the one you should be kicking out, Minori-kawa shot back. By now he was ready to go for this guy's throat. Please, the waitress pleaded, both of you return to your seats. She grabbed onto Minori-kawa and began to forcibly drag him back to his table. Oh, it's too late to that. Giving into his anger, Minori-kawa threw a punch at the troublemaker. Now just calm down, Minori-kawa. Now just calm down. Minori-kawa did his best to swallow his pride. Okay, just calm down. Minori-kawa did his best to swallow his pride. Whatever, he huffed. I don't have time for this anyways. He stalked back to his seat. The other man snorted and sat down with a scowl. The needless interruption just when he'd finally gotten into his writing mode had all but killed Minori-kawa's motivation. He decided he needed to take a breather. He turned to the waitress. One spaghetti Napolitan? Is that how you pronounce it? Please, he might not have a lot of spare time, but working on an empty stomach wouldn't do him any favors. While waiting for his order to come out, he decided to read over the copy he'd written so far. What? When he looked at the monitor, the screen was black yet again. Looking down at his feet, he saw that the power cable was now unplugged. What kind of cafe are you people running here? Napolitan? Napolitan? We're gonna call it Napoleon from now on. Sir, you yanked that out yourself earlier when you stood up. What? Likely story. It's the truth, sir. Minori-kawa pointed out with one of the customers sitting next to him. Is she telling the truth? Did I really yank the power cord out myself? The man nodded sheepishly. Yeah, well, that's the outlet's fault. Or for being someplace where it's unplugged so easily, Minori-kawa squawked. The waitress marched away, head held high. Just make sure the spaghetti's delicious, Minori-kawa shouted after her. Do that and I'll consider us even. Oh, and load it with cheese. Lots of cheese. He plugged the power cable back in, then let out a heavy sigh. In all his writing fervor, he hadn't thought to save his work. Always make sure to save your work. He's probably going to have to rewrite most of what he'd done. Excuse me. Minori-kawa looked up to see a young woman standing there. I'm so sorry, she said, about my father. She gave a tiny bow. Your father? Oh, that rude old man? He's just a little worked up right now. Don't pay him any mind. So, you waiting on your boyfriend? Huh? The woman was taken aback. I happened to hear you two arguing earlier. Would have been about 2 hours ago? Oh, An awkward, embarrassed smile came to the woman's face. I thought he was going to ask my father for my permission to marry me, so we've been waiting for him, but he hasn't shown up. No. He must be really busy. She cast her eyes down sadly. Minori-kawa took a better look at her. She was gorgeous. A woman with her looks wasn't something he saw every day, that was for sure. Say, would you mind talking with me for a bit? He asked. Me? Yeah. I kinda need to turn my mood around here. Well, at least until my father gets back. The woman cast an anxious look towards the restrooms. What's your name? Numi. Numi-chan. She sat down across from him. He needs to stop pointing his finger, bro. Wait a second, aren't you... Norikawa peered at Dumi's face. One of those twins that was chosen as Miss Midoriyama? Dumi shook her head. No, not me. No? Darn. Didn't think I'd be that lucky. He took a sip of his now cold coffee. I do know the girls you're talking about, though. Ew. Norikawa spat out his coffee in surprise. Dumi squeaked in alarm as the spray splattered her face. But Norikawa leaned in, unconcerned. Oh my god, he is so rude. You mean it? You really know them? Yes, Dumi replied. You're talking about the Osawa twins, right? She got out a handkerchief and wiped the coffee from her face as she spoke. Osawa, huh? Norikawa glanced down at the project proposal on the table. Sexy Squared. Twins share top prize at local university beauty contest. Midoriyama Academy, Maria and Hitomi Osawa. Yeah, that's it. The Osawa twins. I actually won Miss Midoriyama myself a few years ago. The year I served as one of the judges. Norikawa adopted a self-satisfied pose. Guess I really was born under the right sign to be a freelancer. The leads just come to me. Sure, Numi muttered. Let's talk basics then. Tell me what you know about these girls. Well, I don't really know them personally. Numi continued to dab at the coffee on her face. But now that you ask, I do remember hearing that they'd entered the contest separately. Separately? Now Norikawa was a bit confused. Yes, that's right. I'd assumed they'd entered as a pair, but apparently not. I wonder why. I mean, they're twins. Don't they look alike? Wear the same clothes? Do everything together? And say the same things at the same time and stuff? Numi chuckled and shook her head. No, not at all. Besides, the two aren't identical. They're fraternal twins. Although at a glance, they do look very similar. Still, how should I put this? They both give off a very different impression. Oh, now that sounds interesting. Mind explaining what you mean? Norikawa opened his memo pad. I talked to them briefly after the award ceremony. The older sister struck me as really energetic, but the younger one was more quiet and reserved. Norikawa's investigative senses were tingling. I wouldn't figure a shy girl would want to enter a campus beauty contest. I suppose not, no. Yeah, I don't suppose you've got anything juicier? Norikawa asked. Numi frowned. Would you like to just go ask them yourself? They don't live very far from here. Hold the phone! Norikawa could hardly believe what had just fallen into his lap. The advanced info in the project proposal mentioned the girls were students at Midoriyama, but hadn't given an actual address. If you could talk to them directly now, that would be pay dirt. You know where they live? Not exactly. I just heard they live in Shoto. Ah, Shoto, that wasn't far away. A car or motorcycle would get there in about 10 minutes. It'd be quicker than going to Midoriyama Academy, and he'd be able to meet with the girls themselves. Norikawa flashed a quick look toward the restroom. It looked like Numi's father had just gotten back. Sorry, she said. I should be going. No problem, and thank you. Numi gave him a quick nod, then hurried back to her seat. Norikawa grabbed a directory from the public phone and flipped through the pages. To his surprise, there were only 5 listings for the Nimosawa with the address in Shoto. There was neither Maria nor Hikomi, but he hadn't expected there to be. He needed to find their parents. Wasting no time, he called up the first Osawa on the list. Bingo! Norikawa couldn't help but pump his fist in excitement. He got in the right place on the first try. Way to go, me! He committed the house number listed in the phone book to memory. Then just then the waitress appeared with the disgruntled expression in Norikawa's spaghetti, Napoleon. Here you are, sir. Oh? The pasta was piled high with an impressive mound of grated cheese. It looked almost like a miniature mountain of snow. You did say lots of cheese, sir, the waitress told him. She set down a canister of cheese and a bottle of Tabasco. This looks good, Norikawa exclaimed. He twirled the spaghetti with his fork and shoved it into his mouth. The slightly sour sweetness of the ketchup blended perfectly with the mellow flavor of the cheese. Oh, this is tasty. There's nothing like satisfying grub to lift the spirits. He turned back to his laptop, still wolfing down the spaghetti. Alright, back in action. Let's do this! Yet again, he unthinkably blurted his words aloud as he slipped back into writing mode. I've got this! I've got this! With ketchup smeared around his mouth, he set his fingers tapping away at the keys. The waitress let out another groan of dismay. You say something? Norikawa glanced in her direction, but the waitress faked a smile. No, sir, I don't think so. Well then, go away. You're distracting me. The He looked away. She clenched her fist in indignation. Hmm? I love this waitress. Nothing, sir. Good luck with your work, sir. I don't need luck. I've got this. Eyes jumping back and forth between pasta and computer, and Midorikawa got to work on his copying once more. Before long, he was oblivious to every sound in the cafe around him. I think I'm gonna stop there because we haven't hit, I don't really want to play to the end of this chapter because we still have 30 minutes left on it and I am a little tired. I need to use the bathroom. I'm out of water. XD. So, well, I actually have a little bit of water left. I only have like 2 gulps. 1 gulp. And I want to go to sleep a little earlier. I'm gonna have to get up early tomorrow to do some errands. Say something nice about today. I had really good banh mi. It was good. I don't know why it made me feel some mad heartburn though after dinner. Because like I said, I had it for lunch and I was bing chillin', and then after dinner, not so much bing chillin'. But yeah, yeah, so I think I'm gonna stop here. Yeah, slightly less eventful, Shibuya Scramble stream. Kind of more just made our way between points, I think, but you sure you didn't order my burn me in accident? I'm AFK, okay. Yeah, no, bye. Good one, thanky face. But anyways, thank you everyone for coming by, as always, for stream. Sorry that it's a random Monday and there was a stream. Haven't had a stream on a Monday in a very long time, but schedule is going to be pretty whack for the next couple months, so bear with me. But yeah, next stream is going to be, probably next Monday, honestly. There is a small chance of stream on Sunday, just really depends, because like my parents are in town, but you know, so I'm just going to be spending a lot of time with them, but you know, they are pretty old, they usually like to be home and chillin', they're going to go back to their hotels probably by 8, so depending on when I get home, we might have stream, but you figure it out and we'll be here waiting. Thanks, Eon. Hold up, wait. I don't type as much into chat because I'm out here blabbing my mouth off, but yeah, either way, I will either see you all next Sunday, or no, not next, well, this coming Sunday or next Monday. Thanks again for coming by, and have a good rest of your weeks, and I shall see y'all Sunday or Monday. Bye bye!